Hi everyone, welcome back to the Simple Souls podcast. I'm your host Ashley, and thank you for giving me some time out of your day for this week's episode. The last video I had this attached to my hoodie right here, which I think I'm wearing the same hoodie, but whatever. But I'm gonna try holding it and speaking into it this time, and we'll see how it changes or like what sounds different. Today we'll be going over some terms that you need to know. You need to do some practice within each in order to get your life together. I know the title says the winter arc, so if you're not familiar with this, it's essentially the winter period beginning October that is supposed to be a great time for you to do something new, something positive from a growth perspective. I would like to mention that these are often seen as just phases, but you should be seeing this as an opportunity to chime in and get started with evolving into your best selves. And this is also very associated with going to the gym, which you don't need to do, but join me today. Maybe I'll influence you or motivate you to do something exciting, or maybe I'll tell you what your missing piece is. There are 5 terms, the first being obedience. Stick to your plan, not your mood. There's going to be so many situations where you'll notice an easier route or decision to go with instead of going through what you really need or what you really want. Because it's our survival instinct to want easy, to want quick responses, quick answers, and overall to not deal with anything hard. Especially when you're in a season of overcoming your circumstances for good, life will always throw an obstacle in front of you. You could never plan anything in full detail because life is unpredictable. You can have an idea or plan how you would like things to go, but the possibilities of what could occur are endless once you start thinking about it. And this is where a lot of people confuse being prepared as always thinking about the negatives, but what this stands for is you being able to hold up your plate during those difficult moments, to be able to continue your studies, to continue following your ethics, all of the above without letting someone or something shake you up. The definition of obedience is to be respectful and mindful of the laws and principles under someone else's authority. But here, I'm telling you to make it under your own. As I've mentioned before, and as it will probably be mentioned again, you need to start setting down some boundaries. Setting boundaries is respecting yourself and showing self-reliance towards what you want to achieve. The second term being momentum. Once you have everything in line for yourself, you won't even think about or hesitate about the decisions you make every day. But this is where people tend to fail. Here is where people get stuck and give up. And here is where the ultimate test truly is. If you don't already notice, people are always waiting. During the summer, people are waiting for winter. Winter is now approaching us. People are waiting for spring or even mourning that summer is over. People wait all week for Friday to come. People wait all day for it to be 5 o'clock to finally be able to do something. And people wait for most of their lifetime for happiness, love, the chance to move to a better living environment, literally for everything. You have to be the one to step up and make time, make space, make an arrangement of some sort for the things that make you glow and beam happiness. And when you do that consistently, you'll build your routine. Your momentum will continue to thrive as long as you're making an effort for each hobby and skill. It's really about setting your priorities straight and allowing yourself to be happy over your small wins, ultimately leading up to yourself being confident over this routine that you've built. Because you'll also notice your progression over time. And it looks different for everyone. You don't have to do the same things, and maybe the same things won't even work for you. You just have to focus on yourself. And the way you can think about how you're currently doing, or in case you're ever feeling stuck, think about everything you've accomplished so far and include your mindset as the foundation of your home. If an earthquake happens, is your home going to shake a little bit or is it going to start collapsing? Whether you just told yourself if it's only going to shake a little bit or if you think it's actually going to start collapsing, what is the piece that's missing that will make your house stabilize? And why is it not already secure? The third term being resilience. This is to bounce back and maintain your strengths and to be able to navigate through your challenges thereafter. Here is where you can also find out why your house is not secure. Being resilient means nurturing a positive view of yourself, continuing to move toward your goals, accepting that change is a part of life, and focusing on your composure. Nurturing a positive view of yourself means reducing the hatred, reducing the judgment, any regrets, or even guilt you might have over yourself. I think it's important to really find that out and recognize why it's even able to make that impact on you, because it'll allow you to free your dispositions. Dispositions referring to your inherent qualities of mind and character. Once you see yourself for your worth, accepting change will no longer be concerning or dreadful because you have to adjust to it. No. Instead, this is going to help you stand up for yourself and be excited over a chance of development or okay with coming out of your comfort zone. Because it's your comfort zone that's more dangerous to stay in than to experience a new perspective. And with focusing on your composure, it's the ability to keep your ego steady, making rational decisions, and even inspiring confidence, which you'll hear more about in the last term. But the fourth term being silence. Here, silence is accounting for the amount of distractions that we have around us, and it's accounting for you to know when to be silent. A lot of our time is consumed by our phones, the majority of our focus being on social media, relationships, drama, the past, FOMO, partying, and all of the above, right? But when you're so focused on everything besides your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, it is very easy for dark shadows and dark spirits to take over your mind and shift your thoughts, because they go in once your vulnerability is publicized in your subconscious. Think about how a lot of people experience depression and anxiety, especially now in the time where it's going to get darker earlier in the day. Evil things always target the weakest areas in your life, which is where silencing yourself refers to not talking about those big projects you have going on as well. It might be a great time in your life, but a lot of people miss their blind spots and any brain fog that they might have. And the fifth term being charisma. Majority of the time, we think about glowing up, beginning to work out, or overall having the idea of changing ourselves in mind. We only think about ourselves. And it makes sense, right? But what we don't think about is our view on people or our view generally on the world. People's words don't have to hurt you. The weather changes shouldn't have the capability of altering your day or your mood. You can decide. You can decide what energy comes in and what energy stays out. You can decide what acquires your emotional capital and what should be considered under neutral events. So the biggest thing for this term is just being kind. You cannot say you're a kind person and have judgment and have hatred and have just a bunch of negative things internally, because that's where it begins. You have to work from the inside out. Wrapping this up, I hope you all really do take these terms under consideration and take yourself as a priority to do so. If you're someone who deals with seasonal depression, the biggest tip I can give you is to go outside. Take a lot of walks outside. If the sun is out and you get some sun on you, that's amazing. If the sun is hidden in clouds, it's still great that you got yourself to go outside even when it's not so bright out during these upcoming seasons, so that you can start normalizing it. And finally, the winter arc is where you focus and work on your physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. Again, this is often just viewed as a phase, but if you really set your mind to it, this can be the start to your evolution that should be endless, because there is always room for growth. Thank you for sticking with me through this whole episode. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Stay hydrated. Happy October, even though we're already 2 weeks in. Time is going by so fast, it's crazy. But use it wisely, as this year is coming to an end and a new one awaits us. I would really appreciate it if you subscribed, liked, and shared for more content like this. Don't forget to check out my podcast channel as well if you haven't already, and do the same for that, because I've started my active era with posting. But I'll talk to you guys again soon.